Welcome back. There are new signs today that inflation remains a threat to the U.S. economy as President Trump's sweeping tariffs take hold. The Labor Department reporting that wholesale prices rose 0.9% last month, well above Wall Street's estimates. It's also the single largest monthly jump in more than 3 years. The Producer Price Index, or PPI, measures inflation before it hits consumers. The report comes 2 days after the Labor Department reported that prices were up 2.7% in July compared to 1 year ago. Core inflation, which excludes more volatile food and energy prices, climbed to 3.1%. It also comes as the Fed considers cutting interest rates during its meeting next month. CNBC senior economics reporter Steve Liesman joins me now. Steve, thanks as always for being here. So talk to us about these numbers. What are the key takeaways?
Well, I think the key takeaways is that tariffs are not disappearing. That was sort of like it had not really been showing up in the data, and we got a bit of it this week in the consumer prices. Now we look essentially up the pipeline, stuff from the exporter to the wholesaler and the retailer to the shelves where consumers buy them. A little bit of a blip in the consumer we got on Wednesday, and now we're seeing a little bit more pressure or pricing to the wholesalers right now. And the fear now is that it works its way down to the consumer. It doesn't have to be all of it because the producers and the wholesalers might absorb some of it in their profit margins, but it does suggest that there's more on the way. Look, the government raised $27 billion in tariffs in July. It's like something like a $250 or $300 billion annual rate. Somebody's going to pay it, and we'll know tomorrow a little bit more, but so far the indication is that the exporters, the foreign producers, are not paying the bulk of it.
So, and just to be very clear, we're talking about prices on wholesale goods going up. So effectively what you're saying is that prices at the checkout counter could be next?
They could be next. It's exactly right. Now, what you're going to have is what you've had so far is strategies by companies to, in some cases, avoid raising those prices. For example, let's say the import price of a sweater goes up by $10. They may raise that price by $2 and spread the other $8 over other costs that are out there. That's one possibility. The other thing is that they do pass along the entire price depending upon how much choice the consumer has in buying stuff. But it's going to happen, and it's been happening over, let's say, a 3 to 6 month period that these prices are going to. Right now, also, Kristen, one of the things that's happening is there was a surge in imports ahead of the tariffs. So some of what has been being sold over the past several months has been from the inventory at the old price. As time goes by, the stuff that the retailers are going to be selling is stuff at the new tariff price. So they're going to either take a hit on margins, and some of them, by the way, those stocks of some of those importers have taken a hit, or they're going to have to pass it along to the consumer.
Steve, very quickly before I let you go, what do you think this means for the Fed? Of course, we're all watching and waiting to see if they lower rates next month.
Well, the Fed's in a very difficult position right now. It has a president who is hammering them to lower rates and complaining that what's wrong with the economy is what's wrong with Fed policy being too tight. But the Fed has this issue of trying to see what's going to happen with inflation relative to these tariffs, and it being their responsibility to make sure that if you have an increase in tariff prices, it doesn't spread to a broader inflation. And we know how the public feels about that broader inflation. It cost the president his job.
All right. Well, Steve Liesman, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Sure, we'll have you back tomorrow, probably. Good to see you, as always.
We thank you for watching. And remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.